New microphone. Let's hope this piece of shit sounds good. Shout out to Amazon, 2-day shipping. We love sweatshops. Anyways, let's get into the video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about playing on that RSI. And I always play the RSI, guys. Because, you know, I'm not no Johnny Rocket scientist over here. I'm just an average guy over here, you know. I'm just looking at stuff. And so, you know, if you're a lazy bastard, you just want to see what's going on, you look at a one-day RSI. You look at a 1 week RSI if you really have other hobbies, for God's sakes. But, you know, I've played these time and time again. And anytime, like, you know, someone asks me what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on with Asscoin, what's going on with Moon Rock, you know, whatever it is, I just go look at this. So let's say, you know, Uncle Jimmy tells me he's going to buy some Clitcoin right here. I'm just going to be like, yo, Jimmy, you better be ready to sell. But if Jimmy's telling me, you know, on January 23rd of this year, or 22nd of this year, he wants to buy some Bitcoin, I'm going to say, shit, dog. I mean, it's not the worst idea I've ever heard. And I mean, cousin, you know, that would have been a decent move, but he would have gotten punished in the end. So that would lead one to wonder, well, fuck, man, E.T. making me watch this video, and that just didn't work. So what about the 1 week chart? Oh, that's better. Okay, yeah, and you had a fair point. I completely agree. If you're throwing a Friday call option, that's one story. But if Uncle Jimmy's selling his diesel trucks, that's a different story. And, you know, this thing looks like a 2-year-old drew on it. So I'm going to move over to the one I started with, and this was the data that, you know, I just heard a lot of people talking, you know, why is Ethereum going up so much? Why is Ethereum going up so much? And so, you know, I do my thing. I look at the RSI. I look at it. So it's a 1 week chart. Nothing more, nothing less. And this thing's in a descending wedge. And if you don't think that, then maybe you should contact me for therapy sessions, because I must be a fucking idiot. Or blind, you know, I'm that Helen Keller. I don't know. If I'm missing it, please insult me in the comment section below. But this is what I do. I do this all the time, and you can never. The number one rule is we gotta break this line. This one. I'm gonna change it to difficult. I'm gonna change it black, so then you know it's serious. That's that. It's just bold. It's that bold boy. You're gonna see it. It's on there. Now I'm done talking about this black line. You got to break the black line before you have a chance to reach your all-time low. Let me repeat that. You're gonna break this black line, and then you're gonna hit that low, or you're going to rocket out of this thing so hard. Like, you might. What's supposed to happen is this. This is all I can tell you. And again, this is only if everything goes in the bull direction. You would get something like this, okay? Something like this, where you pop out, and then you come back, and you hit, like, something in this box. But this box, whatever this box is, you see my little hidden line here? It has to be higher than this. And if it breaks below that, that means you got a whole nother problem. So what I do is I'll look for like some other points here. Like I see a little hitch and go there, and then I'm seeing some stuff right here. Okay? So maybe I make the box like in that range where I'm covering kind of that area. And so if I see this thing bounce out, this is what can crush you. I got crushed on Alibaba like this. That Munger motherfucker was telling me he was doubling down, tripling down. I'm over here, you know, hoping for the best, and this guy takes a bath too. So whatever you're gonna do, this is the main thing I would just like to emphasize, and I can't stress it enough. Some questions have come up to me as, you know, with RSI, you know, oh my God, it could be at historically low levels, and this thing's still gonna dump. And an example I would bring up is Luna. I mean, Luna was dumping. It was down a certain percent. And there was nothing helping it. Do Kwon stole everybody's money. There was no money, like, to be found. So there's nothing you can really do in that event. But what you want to see to avoid that is to look for a higher low. You have to. So again, I'll repeat myself. And this is a great way to look at it. The RSI is a lot like a restaurant. You know, when you walk into a restaurant, and sometimes you wait, sometimes you don't, okay? The midway is when maybe you're waiting 15 minutes, okay? Up top, that's where you're waiting so much that you leave the restaurant. And down low, that's where you walk right in and they pat you on the ass and tell you your dad loved you growing up. You know what I mean? So we're going to look down there. Now, if you go into an empty restaurant, is that necessarily a good thing? Well, maybe, maybe not. Is it a function of the economic times, or are they serving, unsanitary food? Is it some that unique kind of meat? Like, what's going on with that? And if nobody ever comes back at all, maybe they got shut down by the health department. What you want to see is a restaurant that, maybe, Taco Tuesday isn't in town, but then the regulars are always going to be there, and then they tell their friends, and now new customers are coming in, and that would be represented by a higher low on the RSI. Now, again, we're looking at a weekly chart. This is not going to be, a fast thing, but certainly if this thing, comes up and, rolls to a lower low, then you're going to have to rewatch this video and pretend you're back in this spot again. So what you would look for is, like, when it breaks this black line, if it was to break this black line, it would actually be a very aggressive pump. And I can actually show you an example. Solana on the one-day chart, when it actually ran on that nice bounce, it did something like this. Let's see. Right here. Yep. Perfect. It was in a descending kind of pattern. This was, not as profound of a triangle, but look at that break. You see that? And then now it came and it hit there. And now, like I said before, we don't want to see this go lower. In this case, with Solana, it was on basically a double bottom on that RSI, which is much more promising than, it going lower. Because going lower, you would usually assume, you're going to have to get that higher low on the RSI before you get higher low on the price action. This is some old school shit right here, guys. This is like a throwback. But anyways, you see this here? This is what you're looking for, but, that would be red in my case. But whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that this low and this low are equal, or this one is higher. And so that's all I'm trying to show you here, guys. So back to the weekly chart. I'll delete those blue lines. All I was trying to say are the green ones. All I'm trying to say is you want a higher low. So now let me delete it. And so the same thing with Solana is what you would want to see here. But now this is on a weekly chart, which means this would be much more profound. But I mean, guys, you're not going to hear what I'm going to have to say here, but like October 2022, again, this is rough. Let's just say, in any case, you're looking like late next year. I know that's tough. I know that's hard to hear. I don't want to be that guy, but if you put your money on late, no, fuck, man, I'm an asshole. That's late this year. Okay, So, okay, thank God. Oof, I felt bad. Because I know some people are actually calling for tops like early into bottom early into next year. So, okay, so I'm so sorry, guys. You probably think I'm so fucking stupid. My retinas are pleading for help. Or it could get rejected. It could, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I don't want to keep you too long, for God's sakes. I'm probably already giving you an ear beating here, but if you get rejected there, you're going to come down here. This is all I'm trying to say, is you're going to come down here, and then you're going to play this out one more time, and then you head up. And so, like in that case right there, oh, for God's sakes, with this thing, you're actually going to have, like, in that case, this would be your red box. I'm going to kind of keep trying to make this, but, like, if you have a bird brain like me, this is just, it's a good way to not lose it all, lose your wife, your friends' respect, etc. So, this is the new microphone. I hope it worked. This is just, I didn't mean to make this about Ethereum. It's just the greatest example possibly I've ever seen. This was more just, if you see me posting these RSIs, maybe now you know what I'm thinking. And I'm not going to tell you I'm going to get the best entry, but I could call after a 4-year run, I could likely call a top. But, how useful is that? You know what I mean? So, again, I'm not a genius over here. I'm just doing the best I can. And this is some data that does hold up, although the data is sparse. It's very sparse. You're not going to get these. When did this even start? Yeah, January 20. It's already been over a year, guys. So, what do I look like? But anyways, everyone from Twitter who's looking at this, you guys are the best. Shout out Bandemic. Shout out Honeycomb. Shout out Watts. Shout out, God, I can't remember that dude's name. I shouted him out. Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. That's what he think his name, or Ukraine. His name is Brandon. He's a NASCAR driver. I don't know what to tell you. But great Twitter spaces. I'm out.